Hey there, Terry Woodham's here with Let's Be Artful virtual paint parties now. I just thought I'd pop on here. I want to do a little experimenting to see how well a pizza box would work as a painting surface. I've been recommending it, but to be honest, I haven't actually tried it myself. So I probably should, before I be recommending, try a pizza box for your painting if you don't have a canvas. But I should probably actually see if that actually would work. I'm only speculating that it would. So I'm gonna try it. So I got myself a frozen pizza box here, and I'm gonna make my grandma a birthday gift. Her birthday is next week, so right after Mother's Day. So I'm gonna use my template here that I'm gonna be doing hi Heidi, Jenny. Hi Jenny, thanks for joining me. I'm just doing a little experimenting to see how well a pizza box would work, because not everybody has canvases, but you might most likely have a pizza box in your freezer, so why not use that, right? But I want to see how well this would hold up for painting on. So, and I got myself, I went in the garage. I'm a frame hoarder. Anybody else hoard frames? I have this vision of putting, hi Jenny. I have this vision of putting, oh, I don't have any sound. I'm going to try to leave. Okay, Jenny. Come back. She says she doesn't have any sound. But I went to the garage and I found a picture frame. And I took the glass out of it because I don't even think I need to have the glass. I might put the glass in. I don't know. But the glass that came out of it was really like grungy, and I had a hard time cleaning it. But I'm not going to worry about it too much. And this frame still had the original, you know, when it comes new, and it has that paper in there that shows you what size it is. So I'm going to use that for my template. I'm gonna put it on my pizza box here, and I'm just gonna take my pencil and I'm just gonna draw around it. Tomorrow I'm gonna be doing a virtual paint party for free live on my page at 2 o'clock. Pacific Standard Time. If you guys have time to join me tomorrow, you can just watch. If you don't want to paint, you can at least just join me, say hi to me. And if you want to do the painting, just let me know and I'll send you the templates for that go with the painting we're going to be doing. You know, just let me know what size you're going to be working on, and I'll send you the template that will fit the right size. This is what an 8x10 would look like if you're working on something like an 8x10, and I'll give you the size for that. I have 4 different quotes on the jars. I got one that just says love, which is the one I'm going to make for my grandma right now, if this pizza box works good. Got the other one that's on the example. I know these are backwards. My mother, my friend is what that one says. No sound, not sure. Oh, I'm sorry. Can everybody else hear me? Heidi, can you hear me? Jenny says she can't hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. The other one, it says, I am one blessed mama. And okay, great. Hey, Heidi. Yeah. Thank you. Now, how do I tell Jenny that it's on her end that she can't hear me? I wonder if I could type it in. The other one, oh, that's the bigger one. These are the ones that would fit 11 by 14. If you're working like an 11 by 14 size canvas, then that's the size that will print out. Then I also have for 12 by 16 and 16 by 20. as well. So I made templates for each size. So if you want these templates, let me know what size you're working on, and I'll just send you all 4 of them. Let me see if I can get on my page on my tablet so I can, yeah. Poor Jenny can't hear me. And the other one says, Mom, the reason I bloom. And I know it's backwards. Sorry, guys. For some reason, and I guess this is happening everywhere, with iPhones, on lives, we can flip our videos. But for some reason, it started turning everything green. And I discovered that right before doing my my coffee painting tutorial last Saturday. I was like, oh, I'm green. Okay, this is not good. So everything had to be backwards. But we made do. So, okay, so I cut out my pizza box here. No, I haven't cut. I'm going to cut it out. Jenny, can you still not hear me? Yay! Hi, Lori. I'm just doing a little experimenting to see how well a pizza box surface would work as a painting surface. Because I realized I should probably test it out before, because I've been telling everybody, if you don't have canvas, use pizza box. Well, actually, I haven't tested that myself, so that's not very nice of me. I should actually see if it works. I would imagine it would be just fine because it's pretty thick. So, trying to see what other surfaces that we could use if we can't just go to Walmart and get art supplies. Okay, I'll turn down my volume here on my tablet. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, let's try this out. My grandma likes purple, so I think I'm gonna do my background in purple because it's a nice light color. It's kind of a, it's a lighter color like how I have the blue on the background here, but I'm gonna try it with the purple. My grandma loves lavender and purples, so let's try that. So yeah, if you guys have time, 2 o'clock tomorrow, Pacific Standard Time. Heidi, I think you're 3 hours ahead, right? Because it's, not even sure what time it is right now. But yeah, if you just want to pop on tomorrow and, see the paint virtual paint party I'll be doing with this painting over here, you are more than welcome to pop in and hang out. Anybody have any plans for Mother's Day this weekend? It's like 7 here. Okay, yeah, and I think it's 4 o'clock here, so yeah. I'm just gonna squirt it right on there. No sense putting it on my plate. Get it on there. Now it is kind of curving a little bit, but I think once I get it in my frame, it's gonna flatten out. So I don't think I'm worried about that. It's actually going on quite nicely. Might work like I expected it to. We'll see when we get the other layer on there. Is taking a little more paint than I expected. That's okay. It is a warm day here, so my paint's gonna dry quickly. Hopefully. I have no plans for Mother's Day. How about you guys? I usually, for my birthdays or for Mother's Day, I request to not do any dishes. That never happens, though. I would still have to do them. Hey, Ron's here. Hi, Ron. Good to see you. Alrighty. So I'm gonna rinse out my brush. You never want to leave your paint drying on your paintbrushes. That will ruin them. Of course, you knew that already. Sometimes I even forget to rinse them out. And it's possible to get your brushes back. You just have to soak them in something like rubbing alcohol or dish soap. And all right, I'd say that did pretty good for the first coat. When you get it in a frame, nobody will ever know it was a pizza box. I did do straight paint. I didn't add any water to it, so that might be the key, is to not have it really watery, because then it might buckle up even more maybe, but this is doing pretty good. I want it to dry before I get my next step on there. All right, which one? Okay, so I'm going to use my smaller template for my 8x10. And this is the quick and dirty way of transferring an image onto almost any surface. Because my surface is light, then I'm going to use a pencil. If my surface was dark, then I would use a piece of chalk. But what I'm just going to do is coat the back of this with my pencil, just where my lines are. And I'm making a kind of like copy paper. If you have copy paper, then just use that. Can't imagine a lot of people actually having copy paper on hand nowadays, though. Unless you're a big-time crafter, then maybe you would. So I'm just making sure I'm covering wherever I want my lines to transfer. Sometimes you have to hold it up to the light so you can see through it, make sure you got everything. Jenny, I'll have to go back and watch your, I know you just recently did another tutorial and I had to go back and watch it. I missed you live. I want to go see it. So make sure you get it nice and dark. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Let's try it. Okay, I'm going to put it towards the bottom. And, oh, I didn't really center this on the page very well, did I? You're going to have to just eyeball it and make sure you got it in the middle. I think I'll go back and fix that on the file, make sure it's in the middle. I thought it was. Maybe it's the way it printed out. I don't know. Okay, I think about there. I could tape this down if I want to so it doesn't shift. If I can find my tape. Without causing a wreck here. Where's my tape? Okay, maybe I don't have my tape. Ah! I need a new one of these things. This is not good. Paintbrushes are falling out the side. This is terrible. Note to self, make another tool holder. Okay. All right, now I'm going to find a pin. A pin work good, then you can see where you went. Okay, I'm just going to take my pen, I'm just going to trace my lines. This way you don't have to freehand anything. Okay, I'm gonna check it and see. Oh yeah, can you see that? It's transferring very nicely. I just used a regular pencil too. Yeah, tidy. I mean, you could just do this with, you could teach your kids to do this. I showed Michaela how to do it. My daughter, how to transfer. She wanted the word Roblox on something. She made a box, and for some reason she wanted to say Roblox on there. That, you know, that game that they play on the computer. So I showed her how to, I printed out for her the size she wanted, and then I showed her how to do this, and then she painted it. Double check and make sure I got it everywhere. For some reason, oh, I must have not, that's okay. Where I didn't have some pencil, it didn't transfer, so, but that's okay. I can just fill that in later. And on most of these files, I think I missed on the very first one, I might have not done it. I made the letters so that they would just be the outline of the letter, so they'd be easier to, well, two things. Easier to see the edges, and the other reason, to be honest, was so that it wasn't taking so much ink on my printer. Actually, we have the printer that uses toner. Am I saying the right thing? And toner's expensive. So I figured if I do it this way, then it won't be taking up too much toner. I figured you might appreciate that too. All right, Heidi, see you later. Catch me at 2 o'clock tomorrow if you can. And if you want to do this, let me know, and I'll send you the files of this jar and the with the words on it. Okay, I got that on there. There's my notes. All right, so I'm basically doing a little pre-tutorial for tomorrow's tutorial. So then I'm gonna get some chalk, and I'm gonna lay out where I want my tulips. And I'll show you tomorrow the basic shape of the tulip, just so you kind of have an idea of the 2 or 3 different ways the petals are formed. And this part you could do however many tulips you want. You should probably make it so you can see a little better. I'll have my camera positioned differently tomorrow so you can see better. But I think I'll put one here. I'm just making oval shapes, kind of like an egg. Like an egg shape. So, do another one this way. You don't have to be perfect. Got another one over here. Oops, I got 6. Well, I could do another one to make it uneven, but I think it'll be okay. You know how they say things should be on odd numbers, but I think it'll be all right. I can always change it if I want to. All right, what colors do I want to do? So you can do whatever colors you want for your tulips, but the main thing you want to keep in mind is you want to start off with a darker color. All right, let's see. Well, since my grandma likes purple, I know I want to do some purple tulips. And what will look nice? Probably maybe some red tulips. And maybe some yellow for contrast. Or do I want to do pink? What do you guys think? Definitely purple, like a dark purple. Yellow is, I think they're like complementary colors. What do you guys think? What should I do for my grandma? Maybe pink, like that. Yeah, let's try that. Okay. Alrighty, let's see. I'm gonna lay out where I think I want these. So I got 3 different colors, but I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So okay, so each color is gonna have two tulips for each color. I think I'll go. I'm just gonna go like this in this order. So I'm gonna go purple, pink, yellow, purple, pink, yellow. Yep. Yep, I think that'll be fine. What do you guys think? All right, let's start with the purple. So far, I think this is going to work pretty good. If I want my purple to be even darker for the base color, I can add a little bit of red to it. That's actually what I did on my sample over here. The base color has a little bit of red in it. I think I'm just gonna try it with just the straight purple this time. Purple, pink, yellow, purple, okay. I'll go into more detail on how to do the flowers. And the top here, I'm just gonna kind of rough it up a little bit. Maybe make it a little bit bumpy. Okay. My next color is gonna be pink. You know what I do sometimes? Sometimes I just, instead of pouring it onto my plate, I just work out of the cap because I'm too lazy. That, and then it also doesn't waste paint. Because then I'm just taking just what I need, as long as I don't contaminate it with another color. So I want to make sure my brush is really nice and clean if I do that, and no water dripping off of it. I might have just enough paint in this cap. And got my pink here. My grandma's an artist too, so I know she'll appreciate this. Poor thing though, she's getting up there in her age and she can't see very well. She's got glaucoma, so she really misses doing her artwork. She's a real good portrait artist. Almost every time she sees me, she says, I need you to come over and sit for me so I can paint you. I'm thinking, oh, Grandma, I don't know if you could do that anymore. Of course, I can't say that. She's like, okay, Grandma, sure. Poor thing. Now yellow is a translucent color and it's gonna show the background through a little bit, but that's actually okay in this case. I kind of want it to be a little bit darker in the background because then it adds a contrast for when I put the leaf shapes on top. This is like the only time that I ever liked when the background was showing through yellow. Alrighty. Okay, so I got my base layers. Now I'm gonna work with the stems. I want to get my stems in there. So I'm gonna use a green. Use a light, kind of a light green. You know, I'm just gonna do it right out of the cap. This one's actually getting low. I'm just taking I can do something like this. This is a number 8 paintbrush. Not all brands do the numbering the same though. Or I can go smaller if I want to. This is a number 3 in this brand. I think I'm gonna do my number 8. Will be fine. So I'm just gonna go straight into my vase. This is a bright green. The tulip stems they're pretty stiff, so you don't want to curve it too much. And I've seen tulip stems that were really skinny, and then I've seen them where they're pretty fat. I don't know if it's just the variety or what. I'm not worried about going over my letters because I'm still going to be able to see them through the paint. Whoa, okay. This one, I gotta think about it because I almost just went like it's gonna be going right through the side of the jar. Okay, this is when you wanna have a baby wipe on hand, and shame on me for not having one available. So what I'm gonna do in a pinch is I'm just gonna take my napkin, my paper towel, get a little bit wet, and because my paint is still wet, I can wipe that right off. All right, well, okay, now here's the thing. Now this wouldn't be a problem if I was working on a canvas or wood, but because this is paper, it actually kind of took off my undercoating, my base coat there. So, like I said, this is just an experiment. We're just seeing how this works. Good thing about acrylic paint though is you can paint over it. So I'm gonna leave that alone. So yeah, baby wipe would have just done the same thing. It would have just taken that right off. So yeah, if you're working with a pizza box or paper, it is a more delicate surface. It's still doable though. I'm just gonna let that dry, and then I'm just gonna paint my purple back over it and come back to that. All right, I'm gonna plan where my leaves are. Anybody still here? Anybody still here with me? Okay, I think I'm gonna have some leaves coming out behind this yellow tulip. I think I'm gonna have one kind of like coming out behind this purple one and then bending down a little bit. think I want one coming out this way too. And you could choose where you want to put your leaves. What you think looks best. Don't worry, I'll be doing more with the flowers. They're not done yet. My leaves are going to come down too into the vase. Well, it's a canning jar. It's supposed to be a canning jar. Making this leaf go behind the yellow tulip. I'm just kind of going down and ending up filling in some of those spaces between the stems. I got another one back here. You do want some of the leaves to go behind some of those flowers. Hi, Isaac. I'm just working with the pizza box, see how it works as a painting surface. Because I've been recommending it, but I hadn't actually tried it, so should probably try it and see how it works before I recommend it anymore. I'm not having my stems go all the way down, but almost all the way down. This one, this one, and okay. This is dry now, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that spot right there with the purple background that I had, because I messed up. I was going to have that stem going right through the side of that jar. That would not have looked right. Rinse off my brush really good. So Isaac, is that you, Isaac, watching, or is Christy actually watching? Or is it both of you? Are you both here with me? Oh yeah, that covered up quite nicely. I left a little bit of texture there just because it got roughed up when I tried to wipe off that green there. But really, I don't think it's going to be noticeable at all. If it's going to be hanging up on somebody's wall or on somebody's bookshelf or whatever, nobody's going to be looking at it like this close, seriously. So I'm going to let that part dry. And then what I'm going to have you guys do is either use a dark green if you have it, or like what I did on this one, because I just tried using only the Deco Art paints that come in a set of 12. There was no dark green. So I just used the blue. And I mixed it a little bit with that green to make a darker green, so that I can kind of make a shadow on the leaves and the stems, just to give it a little bit more dimension. And I think I need to go grab another green. Be right back. I'm gonna get another green. So now that it seems like Walmarts are all wiped out of paints, I don't know if they are where you are, but I know here in the closest Walmart to me is in Fernley, and I heard that all their paints are all wiped out, all their apple barrel paints, so I can't just recommend, oh, just go to Walmart and you can find everything there, because apparently you can't nowadays. So okay, I'm gonna add a little. I'm gonna dip into my blue, dip into the side of my green, and I'm trying to make a darker green. I think I like that. And I'm just gonna go, I see okay? Oh, I just had a notification pop up on my iPad that was about doing a paint party. I was supposed to be doing a paint party this weekend on Mother's Day at Mad Dog Cafe in Markleyville. Of course, that got postponed or canceled. I can add more leaves in there if I want to, but I might just want to keep it simple. I'm going to switch to a smaller brush so I can do the sides of the stems. Now I'm just picking one side. I'm picking the right side of each stem and leaf. Yeah, so do you guys know about your Walmarts in your area, if they're wiped out on art supplies? I've seen people posting pictures of their Walmarts with all the paints wiped out. I just applied for, with Michaels, I'm going to try with Amazon too, to be an affiliate, to get affiliate links. So, excuse me, so I can just put links up there that will be my suggestions on where to go to get your art supplies if you wanted to follow along with my paint parties. All right, I'm gonna go back and put that one stem back in. I need a sip. Now that that background is dry, I need to pay attention to where the stem is going. Have I go into the jar, so I'm gonna bring it in. Tulips get a little droopy. That's gonna be a little weird, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and add my dark shadow. Okay, I can still see my jar line, so I'm not worried about that. I think now what I'm gonna do is start adding in the shapes of the petals. I'm gonna get myself some white. I think with my dark purple, I'm gonna use my lavender next. But if you don't have lavender, just add some white to your purple. Now I'm working on a smaller size here. I'm working on an 8 by 10, so I'm going to use my smaller brush, but if you end up tomorrow painting with me and you're working on a bigger size, like a 11 by 14 or bigger, then you might want to use a bigger round paintbrush, like a number 6 or a number 8, if your paintbrushes are numbered like that. Some petals on tulips are going to be where they're on the side. Some of them, where you're looking at, it's going to be like one big petal in the front. And you know what I forgot to do is, you know what this is? I'm actually practicing for tomorrow. Some tulips, they have their petals winging out like this, out to the side. I didn't make any of them do that. But I'll demonstrate better how to do that tomorrow. I'm just doing something real quick right here. I just really wanted to see if this pizza box would work. So far, it's doing pretty good. It's a little bit warped, but when I get it in the frame, it's gonna press out, so I'm not worried about it. I think my grandma will still like it. All right, now with my pink ones, I'm going to go back with some white afterwards on all of them. I think with my pink, I just want a lighter shade pink. So I'm going to, if you don't already have a light pink, then just add some white to your pink to make it a little bit lighter. Or a lot a bit lighter. Make it really light pink. They're pretty easy to do. Not much to it. This one I'm going to choose to have this be a closed one without the petals coming out like this. I'm just going to keep it closed, and I'm just going to put right in the middle. I'm just making another oval, but I'm not going all the way up to the top though. I am leaving a little bit of the dark pink showing through. And then what I'm going to do is just very lightly, very skinny, I'm going to add a very thin line from the bottom going all the way up the side. And I could do that on both sides if I want to, or I could just do it on one side. Totally up to you. Okay, now my yellow. Now the yellow, when I did this one, I did straight yellow, and then and then I did a lighter yellow, and then I went back and did straight yellow again, then I did white. So you're gonna decide how you want to do that. On here, I don't think I need to go back and do more yellow. I'll see. I think I'm ready to do the lighter yellow on these ones. So I'm just gonna mix, take a blob of white, go into my yellow. Get some more white. I'm just making it a little bit lighter. Anybody on here gonna join me tomorrow, or at least watch? Maybe make one of these for your mama or for yourself. That's why I did the one that just says love. So if you wanted to just do it for yourself or for a friend, if you don't want it to be Mother's Day themed, then you have that option. Or you can put nothing on there. You don't have to put the lettering on there if you don't want to. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna just go straight in with the white. I'm twisting my paintbrush and my paint and then dragging it a little bit off so I can get a point. And this time I'm starting from the top and I'm making some quick dashes going down. Get a little bit more paint. But I'm not doing it at the very, very top. I'm leaving a little bit of space of the darker color showing on the top. You see how I didn't start all the way at the top? I kind of left that background, like the darker purple, still show through. I don't want to put paint all the way up there because then it helps give it a little bit of depth that you're kind of seeing like the tips of those back petals. I wasn't sure if I was going to go on here today and do a live. It's kind of a spur of the moment. I have no idea when I was going to be able to do it. So I was a little messy with the green and I got little splatters on there of the green on there. So that's not a problem. I'm not going to try to wipe it off. I'm just going to take that purple again and just go right over it. Kind of like white out. Cover that up. And there's a few little spaces I missed. I did notice that you do want to make sure your fingers are clean because I noticed I had some fingerprints on there. So I'm just gonna paint those out. It was probably from the pencil. Oh, see, there's some more up there. when I was doing the pencil on the back of the template. It's probably what it is. All right. Now with the jar, I just kept this really simple. I did add like a line on here for the water line, but you don't have to do that right there. I didn't do one on the bottom though, so just wanted to keep it simple. Didn't want to add too much to distract from the lettering there. So because I'm working on a smaller 8x10, I'm going to use a smaller brush. And I'm just going to go right over my lines. I'm not going to worry about trying to get my lines perfect because it's a painting and it's not meant to be perfect. So don't worry about getting some wonky lines and having some unevenness on the thickness there. I would recommend just be quick. Don't try to, don't go too slow because then you'll tend to have more wobbly lines. So what I recommend is to rest this part of your hand onto your surface there so that you're stabilizing your wrist. And I'm just going to go right over those lines. I can still see through it. I'm not going to go too slow here. I'm just going to start from one side and go straight across and commit. See that there? See how where I started? The lines were thick. And then as I went across, it started running out of paint. I kind of like that effect. And I may or may not want to finish off the other side of that line. Totally up to you. What I might do is I might actually flip my painting over and then do it from the opposite side. Don't be afraid to move your artwork around. What makes it easiest for you. When I did that bottom, I kept my paintbrush at the same angle and I actually just moved my whole arm back instead of working with my wrist like this, and it made a smoother line. I'm going to try that on the side here too. Just hold down real good. I'm going to see how far I can get on this line here with one stroke. And I'm just going to move my whole arm. On a small painting, you can get away with doing the whole side there and with one stroke. I have a little bit of pencil showing. I can leave that, or I can try to go over that and cover up those pencil marks. But it doesn't look too bad if it's showing, actually, kind of. Might help give it some dimension. Now I'm gonna add a few lines for highlights. And then you can choose if you want for your lettering to do like black, or I did a dark gray on my sample here, or like I can do just white on this one on the lettering, and I think that will still look lovely. Totally up to you. I think I'm going to do the gray. I'm gonna cheat and just work straight out of my cap. I'm gonna use a small brush and I'm gonna fill in those letterings with the gray. And then what I'm gonna do is I'll highlight it with the white. This part you can do with a Sharpie too. If you want to do black lettering, you can outline your letters with a Sharpie or a permanent marker or a paint pen if you got a paint pen. This might look nice in blue too, like a blue paint. That might look nice too. Oh, I want to put my water line in there, don't I? It doesn't look like it's in a dry jar. So I'm just going to get my white paint, pick somewhere on there, and just make a line going across. And I totally made that crooked. What I should have done, and what I would say next time, is use a piece of chalk first. I was a little too brave there. That's okay. And if I want to, I can make another line going across the bottom, like a curved line like you're seeing through the jar there. Not necessary though. I'm going to go ahead and highlight my letters here. So what I would say is, if you're going to add a highlight or like a shadow on your lettering, is to pick one side of the letter, either the left or the right side, and just do that with all the letters. Just keep on the same side. So I'm going to pick the left side because I tend to do that. I tend to like to do my shading, drop shadow, highlight, whatever you want to call it, on the left side of my lettering. Kind of like wherever the light is hitting it, as if it was a three-dimensional thing. Then that's where I'm going to put my highlight. Same thing if you're doing a shadow. If I'm doing a shadow, I'll tend to put the darker color on the bottom side. I tend to go bottom left for when I'm doing shadowing. But it can go the other way too. Hi, Rebecca. I'm just experimenting with the pizza box. See how well the pizza box works. I just cut it the same dimension as a what would fit in a frame. I think it's gonna work out pretty good. I'm making this for my grandma too. Why not? Probably should have switched to a smaller paintbrush. What I might do is I might set this aside and just like look at it later and see if I like this, because sometimes it's hard to tell if you like something because we're looking at it so close. And Rebecca, don't worry if you're just hopping on here. I'm just I'm just experimenting. The actual tutorial's not till tomorrow at 2. So I just wanted to see how well this would work with the pizza box, because I've been recommending it, but I hadn't actually tried it myself. Thanks for popping on. Hopefully you'll be able to make it back here at 2. Does 2 work okay with everybody? Or should I, in the future, bump it up to 3 o'clock? Let me know what works for you. Now I feel like I did my white highlight a little bit too much in some spots, so I'm just gonna switch to an even smaller brush and I'm just gonna go back over with some gray and thin out some of those white spots that I was a little too heavy-handed with. Sometimes it depends how thick your paint is too. That will change it. That will have an effect on how your brush strokes lay on there. So I don't know if I like the gray or not. I might go back in with black later. Sometimes it's a good idea to just set it aside, walk away from it, and then come back and look at it with fresh eyes, and then most of the time it'll look better than you thought it did. Okay, good. Thanks, Rebecca. So I might decide I want it to be darker, but I might like it kind of light and subtle too. So yeah. So I'm gonna let this, no, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and get it in this frame. I can't wait. I'm too impatient when it comes to things like that. I want to know if it works. Okay, where's the backing? So if you're just popping on, I found a frame in the garage and it still had the paper insert in there, and so I just used that to draw around on my pizza box and used that as a template, and then I just cut it out. The edges don't have to be perfect because it'll be hidden in the frame. Totally up to you if you want the glass in the frame, or you don't have to. I'll find out if I think I might need the glass, because maybe the glass will help keep it flat, because it is a little bit warpy, and I'm not sure if it was from the paint or if it was warpy like that to begin with. I don't remember. All right, my paint's a little bit wet still, so let's just be careful. Get it in there. That shouldn't be a problem. Just don't press down too hard. Okay, now where's my, okay, my bottom is here. Whoops, hello. Can't do it that way. This is what's great about doing paintings like this, because then you can make them for your friends. When birthdays pop up, Christmas. It's a little bit loosey-goosey in here. I'll I'll probably want to find a piece of cardboard and stick that in there. So what do you think? Not bad. Got a white smudge on there. Yeah, I might want to put the glass in there because it is a little bit like warped, and so if I put the glass in there, that might help press it down. What do you think? This is worthy of a gift, especially for Grandma. I think she'll like it. Of course, anything I make for her, she likes. If you want to, you could put like a line going across there so that it doesn't look like it's floating. So you can put a line here to resemble like a tabletop. You know, just get a ruler and then chalk it. Get a piece of chalk and go a little bit behind. Go behind the jar. Up to you, or you can just leave it like that. I think this might make a good easy painting for like a maybe 8 and up. I'm thinking my daughter could probably do this. Thank you, Becky. All right, so I just wanted to pop on here and see how a pizza box would work. So I'm pretty pleased with it. I think it worked pretty good. I think I will put the glass in there just to help press it because it is a little bit lumpy. So yeah, I just wanted to do that and see how that would work. It is a little more fragile than a canvas, so you can't just wipe off a blob because obviously that kind of roughed up the paper there. So that would be the only thing that would be a problem. Not like a canvas where you could just take a baby wipe and wipe it off if you didn't like it. Paper damages more easily. So, alrighty. That's all I wanted to do. So, thanks for joining me, guys. See you tomorrow. And if you didn't know already, let me know if you want the templates for, if you want to paint with me tomorrow. I have the different, I have different sizes for each 4 of the different designs. These ones would fit a 11 by 14, and I have the 8 by 10, and then I have a 12 by 16 and a 16 by 20. But if you have some other size, just find one that would fit on that. Alrighty. Bye, Becky. Bye, guys.